Support for Street Rotting American Style is provided in part by BG Products Incorporated. BG Products Incorporated is dedicated to making vehicles last longer and perform better in the meantime. In shops all over the world, BG Products serves the driving public with innovative products and proven programs of automotive maintenance. More information can be found at bgfindashop.com.
Remember the fun you used to have building model cars as a kid? Well, they're still fun. They're just a lot louder and a lot faster.
Well, David, we have an old throwback here. I want you to tell me the story behind this car.
I started out with the engine. I rebuilt the engine first, and then I tried to figure out what I was going to put it in. And I've always been partial to T-buckets. So I bought this kit from Spirit Industries over in Mountain Home, Arkansas. And it took about 4 years to put it together. And this is a result.
Yeah, you say it's a kit. Now, and then you're seeing more and more kits, I think, nowadays too, aren't you?
Right. This kit came with the frame, the suspension, the brakes, the steering, and the body. And everything else was on me.
Where'd you find the engine?
A friend had it. He bought it in Shreveport, Louisiana. It supposedly came out of the city street sweeper down there. And they had a big political issue, and they ended up scrapping out the street sweeper, and he bought the engine. And then I bought it. It was only part of an engine, so between eBay and swap meets, I finally got all the parts I needed to put it together.
But this engine's not normal. This is what's called a flathead. Tell me why this thing is called a flathead.
The reason it's called a flathead is that all the valve mechanism is in the block, and the head itself is nothing but a slab. So there's no mechanism of any kind in the head itself except the water for the cooling jacket. There's two barrels. It's an Offenhauser aftermarket manifold, and I've got two Ford Holly 94 carburetors on it, rigged up to run on one with the secondaries on a 4-barrel carburetor. The first thing people would do when they had a flathead they wanted to hop up would be to buy a dual carburetor intake and put on it. And it's just the way, I just wanted it for the way it looks.
David, I'm looking at your headers now. You have a capped header. What was the purpose of these capped headers?
Okay, well, the way these headers are designed, the cap is removable if you want to go race. It takes all the restriction off the exhaust. I really don't need it because I'm not running any mufflers. But when you take the caps off, it just gives you an open exhaust, no restriction of any kind. I did take the caps off once. It's really loud. So I have not had any need to take them off again.
You got the interior here. It's really nice. It's very clean. But tell me about it.
I struggled a long time with what kind of gauges to put in, and TPI came out with this set of gauges. It was kind of a throwback retro look gauges, and they only had them for a short time. I was able to get a set of them. I really like them. The other thing is I've got a Ford Ranger steering column that I put in to get the tilt. I had to cut it down about 12 inches. It makes for a very comfortable driving position.
Ever lose your hat?
Oh, yeah.
About how many times have you lost your hat?
I've only lost one. I learned about that. You either turn it around or take it off when you're driving.
But it's worth it, isn't it?
Oh, yes. And my wife has asked me to put a top on it. I said, no, this car doesn't get a top, so.
Does she like riding with you?
Not particularly. It blows her hair.
Yeah, there's always drawbacks, aren't there?
I'm going to have to build another car with windows and air conditioning before she'll go. So. This is nothing but black primer. I've rubbed it down a little bit to take some of the roughness off of it, but it's just spray can, rattle can primer.
Did you do it yourself?
All of it myself.
And that doesn't look bad. I like to look at that flat color, and just from a spray can, right?
Right. The frame, the suspension, everything's painted with the same primer. It's somewhat unusual in that I'm running a 4-speed transmission in it. I went to a T-bucket rally in Arkansas last year, and I was the only car there that had a manual transmission. This kit was not designed to have room for a clutch pedal. They're pretty tight underneath. I had to figure out how to get a clutch squeezed in there, and it worked out very well. It's easy to drive.
But I'm noticing also more and more guys who are doing street rods, they're going automatics over a standard transmission. Why do you think that is?
It's easier. You don't have to run any linkage, and there's a lot of guys don't know how to drive a standard transmission anymore.
So that's a lost art too, as a standard.
Right.
If you had to do it again, anything different?
No, I think I like this one the way it turned out. I've got plans for another hot rod in the future, but the way this one turned out, I'm very happy with it.
Can you start this bad boy up for me?
Oh yeah.